The Young and the Restless spoilers Wednesday full April 30th, 2025. The situation between Michael Baldwin and Victor Newman continues to spiral out of control, and the consequences of their turbulent relationship are starting to reach a boiling point. Victor's ruthlessness and Michael's defiance. Victor Newman is a master of control and manipulation, and Michael Baldwin has been a loyal servant in his empire for years. However, recent events have shown that Michael may no longer be content with playing by Victor's rules. When Michael confronts Victor about his actions and demands to know why he's being treated like this, he realizes that Victor is not willing to let him off easy. Victor's temper flares as he orders Michael to take action against Jordan Howard, further driving home the point that he is still very much in charge. But Michael, fed up with being pushed around, refuses to follow through with Victor's demands. This refusal leads to an explosive argument between the two, and ultimately, Victor, in a fit of rage, orders Michael to leave. Michael is now effectively cut off from Victor's world. The situation becomes even more tense when Michael contacts Jack Abbott, seeking an ally and a way out of the trap Victor has set for him. Michael's desperation is evident as he turns to Jack, but his decision to confide in him might just be as dangerous as it is necessary. With the stakes so high, the future of Michael's relationship with both Victor and Jack hangs in the balance. The personal fallout, Kyle and Claire's dilemma. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott finds himself dealing with his own set of issues. As his relationship with Claire Newman deepens, Kyle is ready to take the next step and propose that they move in together. However, his plans are complicated by Victor's interference and the tensions surrounding the idea of living in the Abbott mansion. Kyle broaches the subject with Claire, asking if she would consider moving into the mansion with him. Claire, however, is hesitant. She is aware of the tensions with Victor and fears that living in the Abbott home would only add fuel to the fire. She doesn't want to be the source of any more stress for Victor, who already feels threatened by their relationship. While Kyle tries to justify the idea, his reasoning does little to convince Claire, who ultimately decides against it. Victor's interference continues to loom over their relationship, making it more difficult for Claire and Kyle to move forward with their plans. But despite the obstacles, Kyle is unwavering in his love for Claire, and he's willing to give her the time she needs to adjust to the situation. He will wait for her to be ready, but Claire is beginning to feel the weight of Victor's shadow on her life more and more. Michael's betrayal and Jack's dilemma. As the tension builds between Victor and Michael, the stakes grow higher for both men. Michael is stuck in the middle of a dangerous game, trying to figure out how to navigate his loyalty to Victor while also trying to protect himself and his loved ones from the fallout. When Michael reaches out to Jack, he is not only seeking advice but also hoping for an ally in the battle against Victor. Jack, ever the strategist, is intrigued by Michael's sudden defiance and is curious to learn what he has to say. Jack's mind is sharp, but he is cautious about getting involved in another conflict with Victor, especially after everything that has already happened between the Abbott family and Newman Enterprises. Although Jack may be tempted to help Michael, he is also wary of the consequences of siding against Victor. He has seen firsthand how ruthless Victor can be, and he knows that any involvement could put him and his family at risk. Nevertheless, Jack is torn. His sense of justice and his history with Michael may push him to listen and offer support, but he is also mindful of the larger consequences. Victor's desperation and the path ahead. As Michael seeks answers and Jack considers his next move, Victor continues to spiral deeper into his desperate need for control. His anger and frustration over losing Michael's loyalty are palpable, and he seems more determined than ever to reclaim his power. However, Victor's downfall may not be far behind. His inability to trust anyone, especially his own family, is his greatest weakness. He is alienating those who have been closest to him, and the more he pushes Michael and others away, the more vulnerable he becomes. Victor's attempt to force Michael into compliance has already backfired, and now Michael is at a crossroads. His loyalty to Victor has been tested, and he is starting to realize that his safety and well-being may depend on severing ties with the Newman patriarch. But making that break could have dangerous consequences. As Michael navigates his fraught relationship with Victor, he must also face the reality that he is no longer in control of his own destiny. His attempt to go against Victor's orders has set off a chain of events that could lead to even greater consequences. His decision to confide in Jack could be the catalyst for a shift in power, but it may also lead to even more dangerous repercussions if Victor finds out. The bigger picture. In the world of the young and the restless, no one is truly safe from Victor's manipulations. His control over his family, his company, and his allies has been a defining characteristic for decades. But as Michael, Jack, and others begin to push back, the question remains, how much longer can Victor maintain his grip on power? Michael's defiance, Kyle and Claire's growing relationship, and Jack's ever-increasing involvement in the drama could all be part of the larger shift in the balance of power within Genoa City. Victor's past mistakes are coming back to haunt him, and the walls are beginning to close in. The drama in Genoa City is about to reach its boiling point, and with Michael and Jack caught in the middle of Victor's wrath, the stakes have never been higher. Will Michael escape Victor's control, or will he fall victim to the very man he once called a mentor? And what will happen when the rest of the Abbott family becomes involved in this high-stakes battle for power? The Young and the Restless is poised for even more explosive twists, and fans can't wait to see how it all unfolds. The Young and the Restless has always kept fans on the edge of their seats, and the latest developments are no different. The tensions between Victor Newman, Claire Newman, Kyle Abbott, and Michael Baldwin are reaching new heights. With Victor's iron grip on his family and business starting to slip, it looks like everything is about to unravel. Here's a deeper dive into the escalating drama and what the future may hold for these characters. Claire's struggle to break free from Victor's control. Victor's need to control everyone around him has always been a driving force in The Young and the Restless. His manipulation of Claire, whom he sees as an extension of his power, is one of the most toxic dynamics on the show. Claire, who has already suffered much at the hands of her domineering grandfather, is now doing everything in her power to assert her independence. However, Claire is well aware of the cost of defying Victor. She knows that her relationship with Kyle, who has been a pillar of support, is now under the microscope. Victor's constant interference in their lives makes it difficult for Claire to pursue happiness without feeling the weight of his judgment. In an effort to give Victor time to adjust, Claire decides to slow down her progress with Kyle, choosing to proceed at a pace that will not further provoke her grandfather. This decision shows how deeply Claire is torn between the life she wants to live with Kyle and the overwhelming pressure to meet Victor's expectations. Her choice to delay their plans is a direct response to Victor's manipulative behavior, but it also reflects her struggle to balance loyalty to her family with her desire for personal happiness. The more Claire holds back, the more Victor's influence continues to pervade every aspect of her life. Kyle's patience and support for Claire. While Claire may be hesitant to take the next step, Kyle is nothing but patient. He recognizes the gravity of Claire's situation and does not want to pressure her into making a decision she's not ready for. His unwavering support shows just how much he cares for her, as he respects her need for time and space to deal with Victor's constant interference. Kyle's willingness to wait for Claire shows the contrast between his approach and Victor's. Unlike Victor, who seeks to control and manipulate, Kyle is giving Claire the autonomy she needs to make her own choices. He's not pushing her, but instead, he's standing by her side, ready to face whatever challenges come their way together. This patient, supportive approach is exactly what Claire needs as she navigates the tricky waters of family loyalty and personal freedom. Victor's growing frustration and possible breakdown. Victor's need to control those around him is starting to backfire. Claire's resistance to his demands, combined with Kyle's calm patience, is causing Victor's tightly held world to begin unraveling. His frustration is palpable, and it's only a matter of time before he reaches a breaking point. Victor has always prided himself on his ability to keep everyone in check. His power over his family and business has been unchallenged for years, but Claire's growing independence is threatening to dismantle his empire, both emotionally and professionally. Victor's response is not one of understanding or compassion. Instead, he doubles down on his efforts to assert his dominance. As his attempts to control Claire continue to fail, Victor's psychological state begins to deteriorate. His anger is growing, and his actions are becoming increasingly erratic. The stress of not being able to control Claire and the situation with Kyle may push him to make reckless decisions, both at home and in business. This internal collapse could very well set the stage for a dramatic shift in power dynamics within the Newman family and beyond. Michael's struggle, betrayal or loyalty? Michael Baldwin, always caught between his loyalty to Victor and his growing concern for his own safety, finds himself in an increasingly precarious position. Victor has demanded Michael's allegiance for years, but now, with Victor's methods becoming more extreme and his actions more dangerous, Michael is beginning to question everything. Michael's dilemma is only amplified by his desire to protect his family. He has always been loyal to Victor, but his loyalty is now being tested like never before. Michael is caught in a moral conflict. Does he continue to support a man who has caused so much pain, or does he turn his back on Victor and risk everything to protect his loved ones? This conflict could lead to a major turning point for Michael. Will he betray Victor to save himself and those he cares about? Or will he continue to serve Victor, despite the growing moral compromises? Either way, Michael's next move will have significant consequences, and it could very well determine the future of his relationship with both Victor and the Abbott family. The fallout, as the tension between Claire, Kyle, Michael, and Victor continues to build, the fallout from these decisions will ripple through Genoa City. Claire's choice to slow down her relationship with Kyle, combined with Victor's relentless attempts to control her, could create a rift that will be difficult to repair. Kyle's patience and support will likely be tested to the limit as Claire's struggle intensifies. His role as her partner will be more important than ever, but the question remains, will Claire's fight for independence push Kyle to make choices that could harm their future together? Meanwhile, Michael's potential betrayal of Victor could send shockwaves through the Newman family, especially as Victor's hold over his family and business begins to weaken. The choices Michael makes will have lasting consequences, not just for him but for everyone around him. Whether he chooses loyalty or defies Victor, the fallout will be monumental. What's next for Victor and the Newman family? The future of Victor Newman's empire is uncertain. His control over his family and business is starting to crumble, and the emotional strain of losing Claire, combined with Michael's wavering loyalty, could lead to an unprecedented collapse. As Victor's power starts to slip away, the Newman family will be forced to confront the consequences of his actions, and they will have to decide what kind of future they want to build. As for Claire and Kyle, their relationship will continue to evolve, but they will have to navigate the many obstacles Victor places in their path. Their love story is one of defiance against a controlling force, but it remains to be seen whether they can truly escape Victor's influence and build a future together. Ultimately, The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for monumental shifts in power, relationships, and loyalty. As the drama unfolds, fans can expect even more twists and turns as these characters continue to struggle for control, independence, and love. The road ahead is filled with uncertainty, but one thing is for sure, this battle for freedom and power is far from over.